Hey guys, welcome back. So today we'll be finding the area of a circle. And as a recap, your circumference of a circle is the distance around your circle. Remember that your diameter passes through the center of the circle. And then you have your radius, which is a line segment that has one endpoint at the center of the circle, and then the other endpoint is on the circle. So this is an example here of a radius, which is right here. And then you have a chord. So this purple line here is going to be my chord. So this is just going to be a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle. So you have your circumference right here. Your formula for your radius is here, and then your formula here for your diameter is here. And if you are looking for the area of a circle, that's going to be the area covered by the interior of the circle and the circle itself. And you can find the area using two formulas. So you can use A equals pi r squared, or you can also use A equals pi times your diameter divided by 2 squared. So either of these two formulas will give you the area of a circle. And remember that when you're looking at your formula here, your diameter divided by 2, that's going to equal your radius. So notice here you have your r, that's your radius here. And then down here you have your d divided by 2. That's also going to give you your radius. So remember, you can use either of these two formulas to help you find the area of a circle. Let's look at this example here. So let's say the length of your radius is equal to 5 centimeters long. So notice that my radius is 5 centimeters long. And if I go on this side here, this is also going to equal 5 centimeters long. And then my diameter is going to equal 10 centimeters long. So remember the formula for your diameter. This is going to be D equals 2 times your radius, which is 5. So 2 times 5, this is going to equal 10. So if my radius is 5, then my diameter is going to be 10. So let's look at these formulas here and plug in our numbers. So let's say we have A equals pi r squared. So I'm going to do pi times my radius of 5, and then that's going to be squared. Remember, when you are looking for the area of a circle, remember that you still need to follow your order of operations. So in this example here, I do need to do my exponents first before I multiply. So we're going to do A equals pi times 25, because 5 squared is going to equal 25. And then we have approximately 3.14 times 25. And then your area here is going to equal 78.5 centimeters squared. Now let's look at this formula here on the right. So let's say that your area equals pi times your diameter. My diameter is 10. Divide that by 2, and I'm also going to square that. So we have A equals pi. 10 divided by 2, this is going to equal 5, and that's going to be squared. So you have A equals pi times 5 squared. So A equals pi times 25, because 5 squared is going to equal 25. And then when you multiply with your pi, approximately 3.14 times 25, this is going to give you about 78.5 centimeters square. And remember that if you have to leave your answer in pi form, your answer is going to be 25 pi, which is right here. But if you're looking for estimations, then your answer is going to be 78.5. And if you're solving this on a calculator, and if you do have your pi symbol, which is right here for me, then you're going to do 25 times, hit the pi symbol, hit equal, and you're going to see you're going to get about 78.53 as well. Let's look at this example here. So let's say the length of my diameter is 14 inches long. So let's say I'm going to use this formula here. A equals pi times radius squared. So if my diameter is 14, then my radius is going to be half of that. So half of 14, this is going to equal 7. So r equals 14, divide that by 2, and r is going to equal 7. That's my radius. So this side here is going to be 7 inches. And then on this side here is also going to be 7 inches long. So I have my radius, so pi times 7 squared. So we have a equals pi times 7 squared. This is going to be 49. And then you have pi times 49. This is going to equal, so you have approximately 3.14 times 49. This is going to give you an estimation of, you have 153.86 inches squared. And let's say you use this formula here on the right. So A equals pi times your diameter, 14 divided by 2 squared. So A equals pi times 14 divided by 2. This is 7. I'm going to square that. So A equals pi times 7 squared is 49. And then pi times 49. So 3.14 times 49. This is also going to give you 153.86 inches. And this is going to be your estimation here. And then your exact measurement is going to be 49 pi. Let's look at this example. My radius here is 3 centimeters long. So I'm going to do A equals pi times 3 squared. And then you have pi times 9, 3 squared, that's going to give you 9. And then we're going to solve. So 3.14 times 9, this is going to give you approximately 28.26 centimeters squared. And if you try this formula here on the right side, so let's say you did A equals pi times your diameter. If my radius is 3, if I go this way, my radius here is also going to be 3, and my diameter is going to be 6 centimeters. So remember the formula to find your diameter, D equals 2 times R, D equals 2 times your radius, and that's going to give you your 6 for your diameter. So my diameter is going to be 6, divide that by 2, and I'm going to square that. So we have pi, 6 divided by 2, this is going to be 3. I'm going to square that. And then we have pi times 3 squared is 9. And again, you're also going to get 3.14 times 9. You're going to get approximately 28.26 centimeters square. These are your estimations here. And then 9 pi is going to be your exact measurement. Let's look at this example here. So let's say my diameter is 8 inches long. And let's say I look at this formula here. Your area equals pi times your radius squared. Remember that your radius is going to be half of your diameter. So that's going to be 8 divided by 2. And r is going to equal 4. So my radius is 4. I'm going to square that. So you have A equals pi times 4 squared. This is going to be 16. 16 times 3.14. This is going to give you approximately 50.24 inches squared. So let's say you use this formula here on the right. So we have pi times my diameter, 8, divide that by 2. That's going to be squared. So you have A equals pi, 8 divided by 2. This is going to be 4, and that's going to be squared. So you have A equals pi times 4 squared, that's going to be 16. And then you have 3.14 times 16, you're going to get approximately 50.24 inches squared. And these are your answers here. If you're going to leave your answer in pi form, then you're going to get 16 pi. But if you're looking for the estimation, then you're going to get 50.24 inches squared. Let's look at this example here, and let's say your radius is 8 kilometers long. So I'm going to use this formula here. A equals pi times r squared. My radius is 8, so that's going to be 8 squared. I'm going to do pi times 8 squared. This is going to be 64. So now I'm going to multiply. So we have 3.14 times 64. And you're going to get approximately 200.96 kilometers square. So let's say you use the formula here on the right. We have pi times your diameter. If my radius is 8, then your radius here is also going to be 8 kilometers. And my diameter is going to be 16. Remember the formula for your diameter. So diameter is going to be 2 times your radius. So diameter is going to be 2 times your radius of 8. So your diameter is 16. So we're going to do 16, divide that by 2, and then we're going to square it. So A equals pi times 16 divided by 2. This is going to equal 8. That's going to be squared. So A equals pi times 8 squared. This is going to be 64. And we're going to use an estimation for my pi. So 3.14 times 64. This is going to give you approximately 200.96 kilometers squared. So you have your estimations, and then you have your exact amount of 64 pi. So let's look at this example here. Let's say your diameter is 15 feet long. So let's look at this formula here on the left side. If I need to find the area, we're going to do A equals pi times r squared. Remember, if my diameter is 15, how do I find my radius? And that's going to be half of your diameter. So 15 divided by 2, this is going to equal 7.5. So we know that my radius here is 7.5 feet. And then my radius here on this side is also going to be 7.5 feet as well. So when you plug it back into the formula here, you have pi times 7.5 squared. So you have pi times 7.5 squared. This is going to give you 56.25. So we're going to do A equals 3.14 times 56.25. And when you multiply the two, you're going to get approximately 176.625 square feet. So let's say you use the formula here on the right side. We're going to do A equals pi times your diameter. My diameter is 15, and that's going to be divided by 2, and I'm going to square that. So we have A equals pi times 15 divided by 2. This is going to give you 7.5, and that's going to be squared. So then you have A equals pi times 7.5 squared is going to be 56.25. And your estimation for pi, approximately 3.14 times 56.25. Your area is going to be 176.625 square feet as well. These are your answers here. If you have to leave your answer in pi form, then you're going to get 56.25 pi. But if you're looking for an estimation, you're going to get 176.625 square feet. Let's look at this example here. So let's say we needed to find the area with a circumference of 10 pi. So remember the formula for your circumference. It's going to be C equals pi times your diameter. And my circumference, they are telling us, is 10 pi. So I'm going to do 10 pi equals pi times your diameter. And I'm going to solve for my diameter so that we can find the radius. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. My pi's are going to cancel out here. And I'm going to be left with 10 equals my diameter. So if my diameter is 10, my radius has to be half of this. So now let's look for the radius. My radius is going to be r equals diameter divided by 2. So r is going to equal 10 divided by 2. And my radius is going to be 5. So I have my diameter, I have my radius, I also have my circumference, which is 10 pi. So how do we find the area now that we have this information here? Remember the formula for your area. So it's going to be A equals pi r squared. So my area is going to equal pi times my radius, which we have here is 5 squared. So A equals pi times 5 squared. This is going to be 25. So 25 times 3.14. You're going to get 78.5 as your estimation here. So this is your estimation, and your exact amount, if you're looking for an exact amount, that's going to be 25 pi. And this is your answer here. So let's say you had a circumference of 20 pi. So we're going to go ahead and find my diameter, my radius, and then we're going to plug it into the formula for my area. So my circumference is 20 pi. I'm going to do 20 pi equals pi times your diameter. I'm going to divide both sides by pi because we need to find our diameter so that we can find our radius. My pi's are going to cancel out. So my diameter is going to be 20. I'm going to divide my diameter by 2. And your radius here is going to be 10 because 20 divided by 2 equals 10. Now that I have my radius here, I have my diameter. So now let's go ahead and plug it in. So I have A equals pi times my radius of 10. That's going to be squared. So A equals pi times 10 squared. This is going to be 100. So you have A equals 3.14 times 100. And your estimation here, you're going to get about 314 as your answer. So let's say we use the other formula for your area. So let's say we did A equals pi times your diameter. Diameter is 20. Divide that by 2 squared. A equals pi times 20 divided by 2. This is going to be 10. That's going to be squared. So A equals pi times 10 squared. This is 100. So 100 pi, you're going to get about 3.14 times 100. And this is going to give you about 314 as well. All right, so that is all for today, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.